and welcome back to Football Made Simple. Ronald Koeman took charge of his first La Liga match as Barcelona hosted Unai Emery's Villareal in the league. There was much interest in what style of play he would implement and how successful it would be, and in the end the match ended 4-0 to Barcelona thanks to a double by Fati, a goal by Messi and a Pau Torres own goal. The XG indicated it was a deserved win, 3.51 to 0.24. But let's take a look at how Barca looked to play. And a quick shout out to everyone who's been able to support FMS on Patreon. If you wish to support and get early access to videos and more, check out patreon.com/footballmadesimple. And if you don't have the means, a like goes a long way as well. A quick reminder of the formations used by both sides, as seen on the OneFootball app. OneFootball will get you match updates, formation updates, as well as player and team stats, and so much more. And the best part is, you can get it absolutely free through the sponsored link in the description below. Let's start by looking at what Barcelona looked to do in possession. Barcelona had the majority of the ball, with almost 60% possession. And they had various ways in which they looked to play out. At times, they could use a fairly traditional back four build-up shape, with the fullbacks just ahead of the centre-backs. Villareal's forwards didn't press high, rather using their cover shadows to try and cut off the routes into the double pivots. In this phase, they would primarily look to build up down the left-hand side. The ball would go to Jordi Alba, and Chukwueze would be drawn towards Alba. Coutinho would then push into the left half space and Fati would look to drop deeper to receive the ball off of Alba. So if Gaspar followed him deep, the ball to Coutinho was potentially on. And if Gaspar stayed deep, then Fati would have time to turn after receiving the ball. However, when they switched to various versions of a back three build-up, Barcelona were at their most effective. Messi often played central as the primary false nine, with Griezmann as the inside forward on the right-hand side. Most commonly, we saw Frenkie de Jong drop deep from this region, where he was covered by the Villareal forwards, into the back three instead. As a result, de Jong saw a lot of the ball, with the second most passes for the side. This subsequently allowed both fullbacks to push even higher, and crucially, Griezmann and Fati could tuck in central, which would drag in the Villareal fullbacks and increase the space available for Barcelona's wingbacks. With this shape, Coutinho would stay in the midfield to compensate for de Jong being deep, and if necessary, Messi could also drop deep to be an additional option between the lines to cause the overload, and he could be found to turn and begin the attack. And we often saw Barcelona look to overload this left-hand side, with Coutinho often moving wide to assist Fati, which will cause Villareal to shift across. Sergi Roberto was open throughout the game for the potential switch into dangerous regions, but he was rarely found. However, from these high areas, Alba could use his pace to get in behind whilst Fati was occupying the fullback. This is exactly what happened for the first Barcelona goal. De Jong is slightly deeper to assist the centre-backs, and we see Messi dropping deeper between the lines as well. And also note that in this instance, Coutinho stays in the midfield region. Fati in the half space has drawn the fullback in, and Alba makes the run and receives the ball over the top. Fati then makes the run into the box to get the ball back in the half space, and he finishes first time. But we also saw this attacking shape vary at times. Jordi Alba could instead stay deep to form the back three, which would give Barcelona more potential control in the midfield. In these situations, Fati would instead play as the out-and-out winger, and because Barcelona already had a 3 vs 2 advantage in the midfield, they could afford to push Coutinho into the half space instead, from where he would constantly rotate and combine with Fati. They often form 2 vs 1s against the fullback, because as a winger, Chukwueze is less disciplined defensively, and the centre-back would be hesitant to cover across as both Messi and Griezmann could try to take advantage of any vacated space, and as a result, Barcelona had much success on this left-hand side, looking to create cutback opportunities. But let's take a quick look at their defensive shape. Barcelona in this match were not particularly effective in the press, and this seemed to be a tactical choice. In fact, their passes per defensive action was 15, which is not indicative of a high or effective press. Rather than trying to cause turnovers high up, Messi and Griezmann would look to occupy a centre-back each, whilst Villareal's fullbacks advanced higher. So, the keeper would have possession and often be forced long due to a lack of options, from where Barcelona would try to win it. But deeper on the pitch, the defensive shape shifted to a 4-1-4-1, with Griezmann out wide as he has good defensive work rate, and Messi stayed up top. Interestingly though, if Barca had stayed with the double pivot, this would have allowed Villareal to play out easily, as Coutinho would be 2 versus 1 down, higher up. So in the end, Busquets began to push higher up to prevent this, but Villareal adapted by looking to drop one of their forwards into their vacated space, and they often came one pass away from getting a man into this good space between the lines, which may be something Koeman may want to look out for against higher quality opposition. Barcelona were also fairly effective in their offensive transition, committing numbers. Fati and Griezmann would maintain their width, looking to attack behind the fullbacks, with Messi central and Coutinho looking to drive the ball higher up the pitch. Overall, Barcelona were in control of this encounter from start to finish. But what did you make of Koeman's first match? As always, not all the tactics could be covered, so drop anything else that you noticed down in the comments below, and let's start a discussion. As always, a big shout out to everyone who's been able to support on Patreon, and if you want to get early access to videos, check out patreon.com/footballmadesimple. And a special thanks to Faris Sami, Yusuf, and Rohit for being a part of the Ultra tier. But that's all for today, and remember, keep it simple.